Welcome back to the studio. You know what's the worst? Cleaning your room or doing some annoying thing that's been on your to-do list for so long that is just not motivating, because what's the reward? Not much. I mean, I personally love cleaning my room, but I do have to listen to something. So I thought, why don't you do it today, right now, and we can hang out while that happens. So I'll paint, have a little chit chatter. You can come check in on the progress of the painting, but you get that thing done, whatever it is for you. As I set up my paints, go get ready to do the thing. Seriously, because if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? Let's just get it done. For my sister, I know that is renewing her passport. I'm going to use this blue from Brighter Day. This isn't my edit, but it's another mini, and it's so cute. For me, it was renewing my passport, but I actually just did mine. For me, it would definitely be steaming my clothes. There's quite the pile brewing. It might be putting away your laundry. Whatever it is, before I put this down on the brush, on the paper, get ready to do your thing. Got it? Okay, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna feel way better once it's off your to-do list, I promise. We're gonna do just some boxes today. Single color. I saw some requests for single color, and we haven't been doing those as much. And personally, I find them quite calming. So we're gonna use this lovely, it's kind of like a cloudy sky blue almost. It's a little dusky. And do some squares, which we've done before, but we have never done with the number 5 brush, which is what we're using right now. Yes, number 5. So I'm going to start with my first square. And with this, oh, you know what? It's not even a square. I tend to just get the line down and then worry about crisping the corner after, because doing a thick line and doing a crisp corner takes different sides of the brush, and I can't do them at the same time. So we just kind of worry about getting that main piece, and then what else will be. So we'll pull the color to the edge here, and we'll connect. Are you cleaning your room? Because the time is now. You better be. And if you're just watching this because you have nothing to do and you want to do nothing, that's your goal, then that's awesome too. I think we're gonna fill these ones in as we go today. So let's do a bit of a zoom. I always think the thicker brush ones will take quicker time because they take up more of the paper, and often they do, but also often because the corners have to be so differently touched, painted differently, I don't know. There's more precision involved, so it does actually kind of balance out in a way. So for this one, our white space is going to be thinner than our blue space, which is just, something to note as per. So I'm going to kind of go to where I feel the edge of that is and pull along until we connect. Then I'm going to make this a little thicker. Some lines are more led by intuition, some doodles, and then some are more and kind of how the brush falls on the page and what happens, kind of like this one, which is coming soon. Hold on, having a sip of my latte, which I hope was not picked up in my microphone. In others, it's more about the precision, and that's kind of what we're doing on this guy here today. I like to clean my room, well, my whole apartment on Saturdays usually. Sometimes it does happen on a Sunday, but I just feel like it resets me so much, and then it never gets to the point where it's so dirty because there's always just been some cleaning. And then I vacuum also on like a Wednesday, or maybe I'll do like a Tuesday, Thursday, depends how the week looks, because I have pets, so very important. But I am a no-shoe house. I was watching Nobody Wants This last night, the episode where Leighton Meester has her inside heels, and I love that. I might do that. Not that I really host anything at my house, and when I do, we're all lying on the carpet. So that sounds weird. Just like my two friends came over for dinner the other night, and we had dinner, and then we just played games, and it was really fun. So for this time, because the two lines, top and bottom, would connect, we're just going to draw it as one connected shape. So kind of deciding where the edge would be, and then swimming our brush along. So you might have remembered me saying that the paint in this book had kind of started to bleed as the pages got more and more to the end of the book. And I was on live and someone said it might be because there's moisture in the book, so I've been leaving the pages open when I'm not using it, and I think it really helped because yesterday I did this, really no bleed, so much bleed, didn't do it here. And I used the side of my brush. This is a really cool video that's coming on Monday or Tuesday. A lot of bleed. Here it was good. And here it started. Wow, I really like this color we got going on. Okay, I'm just gonna do kind of a few of these because I don't wanna trap where our other lines are gonna go so much. So I think we should do one right here. And with this, I'm going to go all the way to the edge just so I can get that out the way. Wow, this paint is so opaque for watercolor. It's crazy. I love it. So then down the edge, this one I want to be longer because the other one was wider. Sorry, this part's going to be annoying to do. Okay, so I crisped up the one side. Whoopsie daisy. Do you hear Parmesan howling in the background? She was howling all morning. Fed her. Continues to howl. Riddle me that. I fed her and she ran over and goes, "Oh my gosh, thanks so much." Looks at her food once, walks away. I'm like, "Girl, I don't know what to do to help you out." So then we're gonna come along here. Now I'm gonna try and make these as straight as I can, but without reference, like I'm not too close to the edge of the paper, it can be a little tricky to tell if I'm doing that right. So we'll just have to see. But there is a little trick for closing in the space evenly once we get to the outsides, even if the lines aren't straight. I don't know if it's a trick or just like how I do it, but we'll get there, so I'll show you. Hopefully by then your room will be mostly clean, or whatever it is you're doing. What is it that you're doing? What annoying little task. My annoying little task list is so long and annoying. Really can't bear it, actually. I try and do at least one a weekend, but then I'm like, well, I kind of want to have the weekends to relax and recharge. Otherwise, the next week is crazy. So, super depends on my mood. Okay, now we're going to go in, and I do find this easier on the edge to go upwards like this. Okay, not bad. And then get in the corner. And then like so. And then this we can thicken. Okay. If you remember at the end of last week, I was so completely fried. Like, it felt like there was static in my brain. I've never felt like that before. And I realized it's because after work, I would then work. Stupid. But like in front of the TV, so I thought I was relaxing, and I soon found out I was not. Like, sometimes I do have to do that if I have a deadline or something, or I'm behind or whatever. But I did that every day last week, and so I just didn't reset it all, and it caught up to me on Friday. It was almost painful, honestly, and then I just like completely shut off, did my puzzle, felt much better. Hello, Parmesan. You want to come sit with us? Or you want to eat your breakfast? No. She does eat. She just I think it's more of a power thing. She wants to see me put it in there, and then she'll eat in her own time. Anyways, this week I was really conscious to chill out after work. And I don't have that same static feeling, and it is currently Friday, so Friday morning at like 8 a.m., but I am feeling way better. So that's my word of advice to you today. Okay, wow, this pigment is just so satisfying. I don't know if I've done, I mean, I have used it because it's used, but I don't know if I Zen doodled with it. I don't remember doing that. I've probably used it in other types of pieces, but I'm very glad that I have it. So I'm kind of noticing the lines that I'm making are really a brush and a half thick. So I kind of get it down on the paper like so against the white space, and then I put half my brush on that blue and half off of it and give it its structure. See, that was actually a little thick, but a little thickness never hurt nobody. This corner is kind of, I need to smooth it out there. Maybe smoothed it too far. Oh well. Oh, Parmesan, hello. It's raining today, which I'm not one of those people who's like, I love the seasons. I like sunny and warm, hence why I live in California. But sometimes LA has these weeks where it's just rainy and weird, and I really like that because it's just a change of pace. And then I grew up in the UK where it was dreary most of the time, and so it feels nostalgic in a way too. And also I'm kind of hibernating in November, just doing less stuff because October was just a little too busy for me. And so it's perfect hibernating weather. And I keep saying I want to watch Step Up, and so maybe that's what I'll do tonight. I've already made my dinner, salmon, Ina Garden's recipe, one of her many recipes. And then after this, I'm going to go, no one asked what I'm doing today, but I guess you're about to find out. After this, I'm going to go to my favorite Pilates class, and then I'm going to, my friend has a tennis brand he started, and he has a pop-up in Silver Lake, and so I'm going to go do that and have coffee with Amber while I'm there. Ooh, this little enclosure is particularly satisfying. And it's kind of a drive, so I'm gonna get a lot. I will not be doing the driving, obviously, but I will get a lot done. Oopsie daisy. Oh my gosh, I just realized this is really 3D. I didn't even know that. That I'm not even gonna touch. We're just gonna keep going. Anyways, I have a lot of phone work to do. Then, and texts that I should reply to. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to work my little bum off until 6 o'clock, get as much as I can off the to-do list done, to-do lists, and then do my puzzle for about an hour and then have dinner and hopefully watch Step Up. I think it's gonna be great. Doesn't that sound like the best Friday ever? Okay. Cool. Okay, now maybe we do one more big one here and then kind of just see where that takes us. Be a bit random, but I'm into it. Is my focus on? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go the whole perimeter actually. So I'm going to take the same spacing as if I was doing this expanding outward, but starting here. And just continue down as far as we can go. I can't tell if that's straight or not. Maybe clean it up just a touch. Like this. Oh my gosh, you know the construction that I talk about 24 hours of the day? It's 8 a.m. on a Friday morning and it's raining and they're constructioning. I feel so bad for the people who have to construction right now. You'd think they would get to do an indoor activity today. But yeah, it starts every morning, way before 9 a.m. Happens on the weekends. I'm going mental. But the theme of this week for me was acceptance. Leaning into acceptance, self-proclaimed theme. And I'll post some videos on this next week, some shorts. And so we're just accepting that that's what's happening. There's just going to be some construction. And it's okay. There are going to be days when there isn't construction, and we will savor those even more. And a lot of stress is caused by resisting the present moment. So if I'm just like, you know what? There is construction. There's nothing I can do except hope they finish soon. I just feel less stress in my body because I'm not resisting it. I'm instead diverting my attention to this straight line, which looks pretty good. Let's clean it up here a bit. Oh, I don't know if that helped. The page was kind of bumpy. And then we'll connect this over here. It's a little hard to see with the deckled edge, so I'm just gonna try my best. I just had a weird thought. I ordered something for my cousin for Christmas a while ago, and it hasn't arrived. I just remembered it right now. I'm going to go search on that after. So I want to say I'm taking any and all holiday ideas, and I mean, I of course still am, but I've been keeping a little list of ones I want to make, and it's already pretty massive, like more ideas than days I will be doodling. So if you have a really great one, let me know, and maybe it will surpass the list already. Last year we did evergreen trees, not ornamented or anything, just the trees, and also holly leaves, both green. slightly different greens, of course. And so we're not going to do those, but I was thinking it could be cool to do ornaments hanging on the page, and then the background is green, like that's a tree, so kind of a zoomed in version, I think would be fun. And then I really want to do holiday lights. So I'm thinking on black paper, and then the lights using metallic paints, such as this gorgeous gold. And I have lots of really pretty metallic colors, so I'm thinking that will be a cool one. Then I'm also thinking gingerbread cookies of little people. Could be really fun. Candy canes. There's a lot of ideas. We've also already done snowflakes, but I don't know. I think I might do snowflakes again because I always say Zen doodles are like snowflakes where no two are the same. And so I kind of want to give it a little moment again. I think that would be nice. It's also one where you can be really creative because you get to make up the snowflakes. Okay, now our inside corner is crisp, but we want to move into the outside corner, like so. Also, I'm so excited because my best friend and her husband and her dog have moved to LA yesterday. She's my bestie in college, and then she left after the first year because she met this Australian man who was fabulous and said, I'm gonna leave and just go be with him in Australia. We said, oh my God, we'll miss you so much, but love is love. And flash forward, I'm just pausing to think of the math. Almost 10 years, something like that. And they are married and they are finally moving to America. So they, not to tell her business on the internet, but they had said, like, we'll do some time in Australia, then we'll do some time in the US, and then we'll kind of decide what we want to do. And the time has come, and I couldn't be happier because I love both of them so much. But she has jet lag, so I don't think I'll see her this weekend, which is fair. I would be the exact same, you already know. But that's the, rosebud sexy gardener, or rosebud thorn. That's my rose, for sure. What is my thorn, you ask? No one asked, except Parmesan. Is probably that I'll have to wait for the bus in the rain. That's not ideal. And then, but I do get to wear my cool raincoat. That was my mom's raincoat she got, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, maybe more. And it's bright blue and it's so cool and I love it. And I don't get to wear it a lot in Los Angeles. Look, we have a little bleed over here. I like these mini palettes because I can keep the paint in the frame. I know you like to see that. Wow, I haven't used that green. I wonder what it's like. Let's swatch it in a little bit. We kind of have an angle going on down there, but we'll go with it. So we're gonna do our next line. How's your cleaning going? Making progress? I always find, take a shot every time Lizzie says this, the hardest part is starting. So hopefully now that you've started your ultra boring task, you have some momentum with it. At least I find that tends to happen. Okay, so what is my sexy gardener or my bud, which is the thing I'm looking forward to? Definitely my Friday night, as mentioned earlier. Yeah, And when I get to Silver Lake, I'm gonna get another coffee. That's pretty exciting too. I'm not really a 2 coffee a day girl unless there's a particular reason. And the reason today is rain. And I woke up at 4 in the morning. Why, you ask? No idea, actually. Absolutely no idea. I do this sometimes. I listened to my audiobook a bit. I just kind of laid there, and then I usually would watch the sunrise, but it's cloudy, so I just watched the rainfall. And it was very peaceful, but it does mean that by 7 a.m. I'm like wide awake and ready to go. So I do anticipate a 5 p.m. crash. But I do feel like I can push that off a little bit if I have another coffee, right? I'm gonna thicken this one a bit, and then also I think this could be straighter right there. Yes. I have actually on Fridays been, there's this cute new cafe near my house, and I will go to Pilates, and then I will go to the cafe on the way home, get a coffee and maybe a panini, depending on the day, and do a bit of computer work there. And then I will get home and can use the rest of the day to just be in the studio painting, because my computer work for the day is out the way. And so I'm not doing that today, but that's been a Friday ritual I vibe with. So our rectangle in here is shrinking. This will be the second to last little shape, and then I reckon we do this bit here. And then we're going to flip the page around. Kind of using the tip just to be precise, because my wrist, when you're at this corner of the page, doesn't have a great resting place. So I'm holding it, but it's not as stable as it typically is, so I'm just being extra careful. Okay. Wow, creamiest paint ever. And it dries so much darker. See? Quite cool. It dries to like more of a turquoise. I might have too much pigment on the page, on the brush. Sometimes less is more, like I do worry I might have did this a little too much for this brush. But we can even it out, although now that makes me want to even it out here. All right, I'm happy with that. Now this is a similar situation where one square or rectangle is going to fill in the whole space. So we'll go up one side, deposit what's on the brush, go up one side, over the top. This piece will not be available for collection/purchase because it's in the book, but I have put all the ones that are available up on my website, which I will link in the description if you want some new art. The corners are hard to get with this brush. Let me come at it from another angle. I always say one time maybe I'll do a piece where I use a big brush like this, but then I use my tiny ones for the corners, just so it's like best of both worlds, but I haven't done that yet, but I will one day. So let's take a look at our whole piece so far. It's just these 3 randomly placed shapes. So now we're gonna fill in the quote unquote outside space, but it's actually kind of going to be negative space too. I'm trying to think, is that the case? I like this non-bleed right there. That's kind of fun. It's like a snake game when it eats itself, because see, that kind of looks like an eye even. So this will for sure be a square, but it's all about perspective. Hold on. Nice. Hello, Parmesan. Like, are we making a new shape, or is it the outside? It's both. Hello. Then this one, I'm kind of thinking of making it like this, as opposed to this, and then this, and then this, and then this. But let's do this first and then see where we end up. I like that. I don't really know yet. I feel like that's how the best things happen. Okay. So we are going to re-up on this lovely blue, and we're going to go along the top. I want a white space consistency so that you don't really know which shape is which unless you follow the trail. Kind of like that. I also think when we do add more lines like this, it illuminates what might not be straight. And we can go back and edit. Maybe we'll leave it. I think it's going to be case by case, but I can see how that kind of looks like it blends up, right? Oh, I just dislike the edges so much. But that was pretty good. I'm just going to do one of these. And then come back down. Hey, Parmesan. That works, right? Oh, this hard angle to get. Okay. Parmesan has come to sit on my lap. Of course, Parmesan, go for it. Now this is wet, so look how I'm placing my pinky on the page to stabilize. I can feel that my pinky is wet, so I'm gonna really carefully lift up. Oop. Maybe I should have waited a little to do this portion, but it's okay. So, I'm gonna take this to the edge. Parmesan, you're welcome to sit here, but you have to stay still. Okay, I'm happy with this edge. Now we need to do the inner side. So I'm gonna just pick up from the top and go straight down one line. Okay, notice how this one's a little lower, which I kind of like, and this one's a little off to the side more, like it's not perfect. I also think I kind of just want to leave that organically open slightly corner. Parmesan, are you giving us a purr soundtrack? Thank you so much. This, I think we need to do that though. And then, whoa, it's so gray outside. It's just such cuddling weather. I can't bear it, and I think Parmesan feels that too. Okay, so we're gonna get the top sorted, thicken that up, and then the side. And then, sorry, I know my hand's in the way. Okay, we should be a little better now. Speaking of cleaning rooms, I'm having this dilemma where I have more clothes than hangers, and I refuse to buy more hangers because I have plenty of clothes. And I mean, you can never have too much clothes. I am a girl. But at this moment in my life, I feel like I have plenty of clothes, and I kind of just like for the closet I have and stuff size-wise. And so I kind of want to, instead of buying new hangers, just get rid of stuff that I don't use, because boy, is there stuff I don't use. But I'm having a really hard time deciding what those things are because I'm quite sentimental. And there's loads of like t-shirts that I know I'll want to have later, and I can put them in I have a collection box of clothes that I want to just keep for sentimental reasons. I could pop them in there, but that would require me getting my ladder, which is in this room. It's not difficult to get, but things like that are such a mental barrier sometimes. Parmesan, are you even comfortable? That's the situation over here. What? I don't know what you're saying. Actually, this could come down a little. Interesting that it's always the same parts that are kind of imbalanced. Okay, so then we come around this side, connect. I'm going to do the bottom before I thicken that up, just because it feels right, which is a valid reason a lot of the time, by the way. Then we'll come back. And then this corner could use some attention. Thicken the bottom here. Thicken the top, or consistify. Totally a word, right? And then we get in the corner like so. Oh my gosh, sorry, I know I've said it so many times. Not even sorry, I just like this color so much. It's like calming and bright at the same time. Okay. Do you know what I want so bad? I don't know how Parmesan would feel about it. Is a little lizard or chameleon or something that I can just plop on my desk and it can chill with me when I paint. I feel like that'd be so fun. I love lizards. And I know it's cold-blooded, so it needs to live in its little house most of the time, or its little terrarium. But I think we could handle that. Okay, this side. Take across, take across. Oh, that might have been a little much. That's why I kind of like to get the borders sorted first so I can see what we're working with. See that side feels kind of thick. But I think what I'll do is just, there, now it looks great. Now we just need to go in and do the inside, which will be about one width, maybe a little less inside. and use the very, very tip. Okay, got some mess going on here. Okay, I am into it. Let's move along. And I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna treat this as one big shape. And obviously it's going to divvy up pretty quick, but I think it'll be nice to at least start with that. Oh, Parmesan. Just kind of to have a little variety in this situation. Oh, look at this postcard I'm working on from my edit. Look how shimmery that is. This isn't my paint, it's KMS watercolors, but it's my postcard. And my friend came over the other night and she brought me a puzzle. So I'm writing her a thank you note, so that's what that will be. Hello, Parmesan. So I'm actually gonna turn the paper a little so I can get this first line down. Like this. Consistify. If that's not a word, it should be. Whoa, I really did not consistify that because this top is so much thicker. So we're gonna come down. Try and sure. Then take this across. Oh, I wanted it a little higher. Right like that. Lovely. And we'll crisp. I hope that you can see everything okay, although you should really be focusing on cleaning your room. So it shouldn't matter too much, right? Wish I had some more interesting things to tell you. We're gonna just move along the page like this. But I don't today. Just a chill little Friday. I don't know how consistent this line feels to me, so let's move this book up and see how it kind of warps inward. I'm gonna go here and then try and make a straight line down from there. It can be hard to tell. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So we're gonna turn back around, and I'm turning because I'm choosing the angles at which are best for the current line. Okay, so next I'd like to come down below here. And this is a great way of illustrating that with this kind of piece, particularly just shapes, it doesn't need to have a top or a bottom or image. In some, obviously it does if we're drawing a particular thing. I mean, also, it doesn't have to if you don't want, but we can tackle the piece from any angle. I do paint some abstract paintings like this sometimes where I finish it and then the client's like, which way does it go? And I'm like, it's up to you. You can put it one way, a few years later you can change it, turn it upside down. All just a bit fun. Okay, let's do that same thing here. Oh, so here we're gonna have fully dried paint next to new paint. See the color difference? Okay, and I'm going to come back like this and this. And then move along our rectangle, our first rectangle, to the other side. Very smooth, and then come back up. And do that again, just thickening it till the consistency we want. That feels all right. This I'm gonna definitely need to. Oh, that was maybe too much. Okay, let's make a little ramp, make those even. This doesn't look so even. It can be really hard to tell from this angle too. Like you actually have a different angle to me because you're straight above and I'm down here, so might look funny, but to me it looks all right. Whatever. Here we can see that sparkly pink, which I used yesterday, the same one I just showed you in the postcard. Such pretty color, and it's actually the first color I ever used in this book. I just got those watercolors, and I had this book for months, and I really wanted to try it out because it was so sparkly and beautiful. And then I was like, oh, I'll finally just use that book I have. I was kind of saving it for something special. And look what it turned into. Very special. Anyways, so yesterday I thought it could be a fun time to just try and do that first ever Zen doodle in the book again and see like what's changed in my style and stuff. And so I used it again. I will post that soon. That is one of the things I'm gonna edit today on my journey. Oh, let me get down in there. I'm not even gonna focus too much on that crease. Okay, the weird flashback thing is starting. This time was of a pet store in Kensington, where I used to live in London, where they had all kinds of rodents and fish and things, and a talking parrot, and I got some gerbils there. Really random. It was just off Ken High Street, near the Odeon. Okay. Now, I'll consistent this and that edge. And now we totally have our border for the last bit. Now let's look at this. This section here is going to be one thickness across, right? So why don't we just get that in? I'm going to move my paints to the other side of my workstation. Yeah. So gonna build the exact thickness I want. Oh. I need to sneeze. I paused. Okay, so then we're gonna take this up this way and we're gonna take it down this way too. Let's go this way first. So I will pull it across. Oh, that was silly. Did you see me do that? I think what I'm going to do is, in this instance, just do one of those. Okay. I also kind of see a wiggle there. I could crease out. Ooh, a little white space there. Okay, then this is going to come out and down. Wow, I'm really having a lot of flashbacks to London. I think it's the weather, but this one is to Bow in Mayfair. That restaurant. Bao buns, yum, yum, yum. We've made a tea. And we're just spinning as we go. And then I'm going to finish this whole block even before we get to the other side, just because we're here and that makes the most sense to me. So get up here. And then the page curves down, so it's hard to see, but I'm going to try my best. Go like that. Okay, this kind of warps in, do you see that? So I'm going to put my brush there and drag. Okay. And come across the bottom. I need to go like this, sorry. Total hand in the way. And then that makes me want to do this here. And as of there, I am pretty content. Okay, so same thing. Oh my gosh, remember Wild Child, that movie? Emma Roberts, Alex Pedfer. Maybe that's what I'll watch tonight. I recently watched Stormbreaker again with my American friend, and I was like, this is the best movie ever. And then, because that was all the rage when I was 13 or whatever in London. And she was like, it's okay. And I was like, you know what? You're right. But at the time, best film ever. Fancied him so much. Okay. Oh, sorry. This was not really in frame, was it? Also, this is starting to dry, and I don't really want a line so much, so I'm just going to take it out a bit. Okay. And then we're going to return to our little rectangle over here. And down. I feel like for the most part we've kept these pretty straight. Like sometimes inside the shapes it ends up being triangles or weird situations, and not weird in a judgy way, just weird in a not how they started way. And I feel like they're all pretty rectangular still over here. All right, gonna connect that a bit. Ooh, this is a tricky little corner. There we go. And then this is all gonna be one shape as well. I've executively decided. So we'll go corner to corner, corner to corner, crisp, corner to corner, fill in, and then corner to corner. Lovely. All right, now back to this, it's kind of giving factory with like a steam bit. Just me? All right, how's our focus doing, everybody? It's good, okay. Ooh, I definitely went too far with that. Just gonna pick it up with my clean finger and let that dry a little bit as we go down here. Oh, I can feel my hand in something wet. Never good. Yeah. It's okay. I feel like I often paint on Friday mornings and then go to Pilates, and I feel like I often have paint on my arms. And the other girls are probably like, what? What freak? Now we'll come down along the bottom. That was a nice one, but it does diagonal a little, so let's go like that. Okay, then I think I'm gonna go up this side, up and down, and by the time I come here, that's hopefully dried enough that we can just go over it. Although, I don't know, maybe I calculated that spacing wrong. We'll find out, won't we? Because I want this a little thicker. Kind of like that. And then, yes, that's what I was envisioning. Okay. Then, this paper has such random bleed. Like, why did it just come out there, you know? Strange. I mean, I'm glad it's just there and not everywhere. And I'm also glad I was given the idea to keep the book open, because I really think that's helped. Okay, I think that's dry enough where I can connect. So I'm gonna go to the edge. And up here. And I'd love for this white line to be consistent. I don't know if it will. This white line being the one in the center of the tower. Because then that'll make this its own little bit, which I feel like it actually quite did. Yeah. Okay. I think we can pop that there again. And then we're on to our last rectangle, which is a really cute and lovely rectangle. Up the side. And here. And then I just see a little dip here that I would like to cancel out. And then we have some bleed. So going here, and then we'll return to the bottom, depositing a little of excess of what's on my brush, and then we'll go like this. And then up the side. I like how this paint is so opaque, but then it does still have diversity in opacity. So like this line versus this line. You can also often tell what the first few lines are, not by shape, well sometimes, but by the control of the pigment, because often when I use a pigment, it might be the first time or I haven't used it in a while, and so I forget exactly how it works. So I'm kind of discovering that as I go, and I feel like this first bit is a good example of how that happened. It's like, it's leaving us clues as to how it was created. And then, boom, boom. Boom isn't actually a great word for this. It's much gentler, but whatever. Then we're gonna fill in our last bit. Hopefully you're almost done cleaning your room or renewing your passport or folding your clothes. And after this, you can feel so accomplished and just have a lovely rest. Too much is on my brush here, so I'm gonna get rid of it over here. Because when there's too much on the brush, you don't really have control in a way that is ideal. And then now that I have less, I'm gonna go back and handle that. Up in there, straighten. Okay, let me complete the rest of this and then we'll go back to how that bit looks that I just did, because I'm not sold on it. Okay, this tapers a little, I think. There we go, and then like that. I see some tapering here. Okay, well, these little blocks of color in the center are so satisfying to me. All right, I'm gonna clean out my brush. Always clean out your brush when you're done so it doesn't get sticky and misshapen with pigments. I'm gonna put our little palette aside and we're gonna take a look at the whole thing from the top if the focus wants to work. Wow, I like this one a lot. They're all just so different, you know? Like, what the heck? But they make me feel the same. This was lava lamp blobs, but it was super bleedy. I did that on live, which is Mondays, 6 p.m. on TikTok, if you're wondering. See you there. Okay, well, this was a nice little hour. I hope that you got something productive done. If you didn't finish it, you know what? You at least started, and that's awesome. And if you finished it and now you're just chilling, congrats. I mean, congrats regardless. I'm gonna go put on Pilates outfit, do a tiny bit of email, and then brave it into the rain. So thanks so much for watching. Comment below what thing you did, if you'd like to see anything in particular next, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next Saturday. Doodles.